Joining me now is Martin Baily. He's the former chief economist for the Clinton White House. Martin is currently a senior advisor to McKinsey and Company and also a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. Martin, great to have you on the program. And, you know,
great to be here.
The first thing that I'm curious about from you is whether or not you are relieved that for now we seem to have avoided a government shutdown.
Yes, I'm very relieved. You know, the last thing we need during a time when our economy is fragile, when Europe is in trouble, is to have more uncertainty and a shutdown like that. I just don't think that would have been good for markets or anything. So it's a relief. I expected it to happen. I didn't think anybody really wanted a shutdown, but it's nice to know it's happening.
But what do you make of the fact, Martin, that we can pass a $1 trillion spending bill and we can't seem to get together on a payroll tax cut?
Well, I think that's more contentious because the question is, how are you going to pay for it? We do have, obviously, these large deficits, so we're looking for a way to pay for the payroll tax cut. And what the Democrats want to do is pay for it with a millionaire's tax or a high income tax. And the Republicans obviously have taken a very strong position, no new tax cuts. So it makes it very difficult to compromise on that issue. Now, I think Obama, the administration, has indicated that it's willing to forsake the high income tax in order, if you can come up with some other way of paying for it. So I think they will work out a compromise. Looks like they're going to do at least 2 months, and maybe they'll extend it forward. But keep in mind, we are coming into election season, so this unfortunately is not the time when we get the most rational long-term decision-making processes going on in Washington. Everybody's jockeying for position.
Absolutely, and counting down obviously to the elections next year too, Martin. So in your economist view, though, what's the best way to pay for an extension like this?
I would not be so concerned about paying for it this year. I still think the economy is weak enough that a little bit of just straight expansionary policy is okay. So I'd probably be fairly easy about finding a way to pay for it. What I think is much more important, and probably won't happen until after the election, is getting a serious compromise on the 10-year budget.
Yep.
What do we do about controlling healthcare costs and bringing the budget under control over the next 10 years? That's the really vital thing to do. The stuff this year is I think, of more minor importance.
Right. It's a lot of the smoke, and maybe the real fire, as you say, is really the budget deficit. Martin, before I let you go, though, Senator Harry Reid says, look, maybe the compromise will be to extend this payroll tax cut, by 2 months and see how it goes. What do you make of that?
Well, that's what happens when you can't really reach a serious agreement. You kind of agree, okay, we'll do it for a week, we'll do it for a month, we'll do it for 2 months, and then we'll revisit it. I think it's unfortunate because it creates uncertainty. We know we're going to have to go around this again in 2 months' time, but I think it's better than nothing. I mean, it would have been a bad idea if come January 1st, households have been paying an extra $1,000 in payroll taxes or paying at that rate. That's not something you want just when the economy is beginning to show some traction, beginning to show some signs that it's getting back on track.
Martin, thank you so much for joining us.